Question is, on the topic of suffering and growth, is happiness a healthy pursuit? Or do you agree with Einstein's view on happiness as the aspiration of a pig? Okay, let me quickly look up the Einstein quote here that you referenced about a pig and happiness. Okay, Einstein writes, I have never looked upon ease and happiness as ends in themselves. This critical basis I call the ideal of a pigsty. The ideals that have lighted my way and time after time have given me new courage to face life cheerfully have been kindness, beauty, and truth. Without the sense of kinship with men of like mind, without the occupation with the objective world, the eternally unattainable in the field of art and scientific endeavors, life would have seemed empty to me. The trite objects of human efforts, possessions, outward success, luxury, have always seemed to me contemptible. Okay, where do I start with this? I think I usually agree with Einstein, especially when he talks philosophy on most things. And I do here as well, in terms of material possessions and all those kinds of things. But I think he unfairly attacks the word happiness and also pigs. So let me disagree with Einstein and try to defend the word happiness and also maybe defend pigs, if I can somehow figure that out. So the word happiness, I think, is one of those words that could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. And I think in this case, Einstein is using it as almost, or the pursuit of happiness as a kind of synonym for hedonism. So a kind of very narrow definition of what happiness is. I think I see happiness as a indicator that is much bigger than direct pleasures, but as a word that includes those pleasures, but also includes more meaningful, deep fulfillment in life. And so I'd like to reclaim the word happiness as a good thing, which is slightly implied in this discussion that happiness is a kind of distraction that shouldn't be thought about. I do think that happiness is a side effect of a life well lived, not a goal. I think the moment it becomes a goal in itself, I think it's easy to lose your way. And perhaps that's what in part Einstein means. But I do think it's a really good signal of progress, happiness. So in losing yourself in the focus of battle, of just focusing on excellence and progress and improving and challenging yourself and growing all the time, I think a kind of a running average measure of your happiness, day-to-day happiness, so you like average that over a period of weeks and months, is a good measure of how you're doing. And I think a more like actionable process of collecting that signal is the process of just gratitude, of sitting back and thinking how grateful I am, how grateful you are for how it started and how it's going, for the progress that you've made. So I do think it's a good signal, not momentary happiness, but over a period of time, several weeks, several months, if there's not happiness, that you've probably lost your way as well. So it's a useful signal, not a goal in itself, but a useful signal. And, kindness, beauty, and truth, as Einstein puts it, are good ideals, but they're a bit ambiguous in a practical day-to-day sense. I share them, of course, but I think practically, if I were to put it into words, at least for myself, struggle is the process and happiness is the measure. So day-to-day life actually looks like a constant struggle to improve yourself. And then the flip side of that is the gratitude of how amazing life is, the progress you've made, but also just the opportunity to struggle. Is you have to imagine Sisyphus happy. And ultimately, when I look back at my life, most days I spent truly happy to be alive. So in that sense, the pursuit of happiness is a good one. So not hedonistic in the moment, local optima of kind of pleasure, but more like stepping back, looking at the running average over the past few weeks and months and making sure you're at a good level. So that's a bit of a disagreement with Einstein. And I also have to say that I think pigs are one of the most intelligent animals. So I'm still holding out for the possibility that pigs or maybe dolphins have life figured out quite a bit better than us humans. So on those two things, the pursuit of happiness and on the brilliance of pigs, me and Einstein part ways for a brief moment.